Yo, yo.
Yo, hello. How's it going?
Yeah, good.
You
How have
doing?
you been?
I've been doing well. We've had a few weeks off.
I was on holiday for a week, so I was glad that we was planning to do it last Wednesday, but I wasn't feeling up to it anyway.
Stag do.
For a 5-day stag do in Valencia.
How was it? Valencia.
Yeah, it was good. Valencia's a really nice city. 5 days on a stag do is a bit heavy, but yeah, it was good. It was really good.
Is it quite touristy over
Um, a lot of, you know, when you like usually go to Spain and it's sort of Brits have taken over.
there? Yeah.
It wasn't any of that. There's a lot of Spanish tourists and other tourists from Europe.
Oh, right. Right, okay.
But yeah, it was good.
Was it hot?
Yeah, about 30 degrees I think during the day. Yeah, I think they're having a bit of a heat wave there. So
Oh, right.
yeah, got a bit of a tan. Can you see my tan line?
And then you booked another holiday. So you're going to top your ton up again?
Yeah, that's in September. Sicily.
Sicily.
Yeah.
How hot is it in September in Sicily?
I think it's around 25, which
Okay.
I prefer that kind of temperature.
Yes, like ideal temperatures. Perfect.
Yeah, like 20 to 25 is ideal for me, where you can still go out with t-shirt and shorts, but you're not.
Uncomfortably hot.
Yeah, especially if you're because I like to go walking around and stuff
Yeah.
on my way. So
Proper
when it's that hot,
tourist.
it just becomes uncomfortable.
I'm going to Morocco in August, and a friend of mine, his parents just came back and said it was throughout the stint that they were there, it was getting hotter and hotter to a point where it was uncomfortable. But August is meant to be
Yeah,
insanely.
the hottest time. What's the temperature in August?
It says here the temperatures range from 29 degrees to over 45 degrees, depending on the area of the country.
Jeez, I remember when I went to Dubai in like peak summer, and I left the apartment and I went for a 5 minute walk, and I thought, like, forget this, it's way too hot. I just went
Yeah.
back to the apartment and just stayed in the apartment all day. Went out at night.
It happened to me and Kate when we went to Cyprus. Was it last? Well, I don't think it was last year. Maybe the holiday before, or a couple years ago. We walked outside to go. We was planning to go to the town on that day and get the bus in to go to the town. Walked out of and there was a shop across the road from our hotel, so we thought we'll go get a drink and stuff, and then jump on into town. Walked out. I think we lasted about 5 or 6 steps, and then just turned around and went back to the.
Yeah, Cyprus is supposed to get really hot as well, isn't it?
Yeah, that's like mid 30s, I think, around summertime. But,
It's nice. Like that temperature's nice when you're just chilling by a pool and you can go in the shade and you can go in the pool to cool down. But if you're gonna be like walking around,
actively doing things.
yeah, sightseeing and stuff, it's just way too hot.
That is true. Have you watched any films as of late?
No films, but I've been watching Stranger Things. It's actually insane this season.
So you watched season 4 from the start of season 4. You didn't start it again.
No, I did start it again. I was gonna, but you can easily pick it up because the stories they do link up, but not like Better Call Saul. Everything sort of interlinks with each other, so you need to sort of know what's going on before you watch.
Because there's many different stories going on.
Yeah, with Stranger Things, it's like it's a different story each time, but there are certain things that do obviously link up to the other seasons, so you don't really need to watch it from the beginning.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I get what you mean. It's sort of quite a simple storyline to follow. Is it better than season? I didn't really like season 3.
I liked it.
Yeah.
I thought it got better and better.
Maybe
this season though is like it's on another level.
Is it the whole thing been released at once?
They've released 7 episodes, and apparently they're releasing more in July. I'm not sure how many episodes in July they're releasing. I've heard it's 2 more episodes, and I've also heard it's another 7, but I'm not 100% sure. But I just watched episode 4 yesterday, and episode 4 is sick.
Yeah, it says here that they're releasing season 4 in 2 volumes. First set was released on May 27th, and the second one to be released on July 1st. Thingy, Better Call Saul are doing something similar as well, so is that just
Yeah, I think it's like a
new thing?
new thing, because even Ozark have done the same. They've released theirs in 2 like halves.
Are you up to date with Ozark?
I don't know whether it's because Better Call Saul's last season, it's Ozark's last season, and it's Stranger Things last season.
Oh, is this our last season?
Well, I think it's Stranger Things last season. I think it is. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, maybe it's.
I hope it is, because not because I want it to end, but because I don't want them to I want them to go out on a high and not overdo it. But I just feel like the writers are so good for Stranger Things, like, because these episodes, the first 2 episodes, are 1 hour 20 minutes long.
Oh, really? All the episodes are.
The first 2, and then I think the second 2 have been like 1 hour 10.
All right.
So they're really long episodes, but when you're watching it, they've written it so well, like you stay intrigued the whole time, and you just feel like everything's there for a reason, and they've not just put filler. Like, do you know, sometimes when they're trying to make an episode long, they'll put random bits of dialogue in that aren't needed.
Definitely in TV series, like modern day TV series.
Yeah. It feels like everything's there for a reason, and there's enough action in between the dialogue to keep you like glued to the screen. They've done it so well.
So this originally came out in 2016, and they were quite young then. And then season 3 came out a while ago, like before COVID, was it?
Yeah, 2019.
So they must be like quite a lot older now, or did they record it?
Yeah, so this is set 2 years later.
Oh, right. So they must have started recording it after COVID then, I'm guessing.
Yeah. But it's a lot scarier than the previous seasons.
Darker.
Yeah, darker.
Because I recall season 3 not being dark at all.
No, my friend was telling me about why it wasn't as dark. It's because they released it in summer, so they wanted to give it like a lighter summery vibe.
Oh,
but then they've released this one in summer, but this is dark. So I don't know, like maybe that idea's sort of gone out the window, and they've just thought we'll make it as dark as last time.
Yeah,
it's
because
still set in summer though.
We've talked about it before with Breaking Bad and how the use of colours like define a lot of the emotion that you get from it, watching it. So I remember season 3 being very vivid, luminous colours. That's what I take most from.
And this one is more like. This one's more like. It's not vivid colours, but it's. You can tell it's summer, but they've maybe like a dusk. Do you know what I mean?
Overcast a bit. Oh, right, okay.
Not really overcast, just like the sun's like setting, and it's done like the late afternoon.
Oh, right, okay.
If you get what I mean, that kind of vibe.
Well, I'm just going to share my screen a moment. So this is season 3 compared to season 4.
Yeah.
And you see here season 1 to season 3.
Well, he looks mad different.
So that's what, 6 years older, isn't it? Was it? Yeah, 6 years older-ish.
Yeah.
5 or 6 years.
Well, that's 3 years older, isn't it?
Season 1. Oh, yeah.
Or 4 years older. 4 years, maybe, when they filmed it.
Oh, right. Okay. I need to give it a watch. I'm waiting for Kate to finish her exams and then can't watch this without.
All right, she told you to wait for her.
Yeah. She said she wants to start the whole thing again, but I can't do that for every single series I ever want to watch.
No, I don't. There's no point starting it again. You don't need to.
They give you a recap at the beginning of these ones anyway, don't they?
Yeah, you can watch the recap, and then that sort of fills you in. But the main stuff you really need to know is that Hopper's in Russia. I think you're. You don't really know that from season 3, but
what?
Oh, Hopper jumped in that thing, didn't he?
Oh yeah.
At the end, jumped into the
to save them.
portal. Yeah.
All right. Shall we get cracking with the first?
You think he's dead, but then at the end, it's like, oh.
I think there's a delay.
I was going to say you think he's dead, but then at the end, it shows that Russian prison, and then the Russians are like something that's the American or something. Then it ends there.
All right. Do you remember that, or did you watch that again?
No, yeah, I remembered that.
Oh fucking hell! I must have shit memory then, because I don't remember that.
Because I remember seeing it, I'm thinking, oh shit.
Yeah. It might be the last season then of Stranger Things. Do you know we was talking about? I think last time was talking about Vince Gilligan and what else he could do with the Breaking Bad universe.
Yeah.
So he said that he could do another spin-off. Well, he would like to do another spin-off because there's so much more to yet to be told. But he doesn't want to do it yet. He's going to come back to it because he wants to prove to everyone and prove to himself that he can do something else just as good.
Or just do a whole new
Just something completely different, yeah. Just a whole new idea.
That might even be better than Breaking Bad if he did that.
Yeah. You want him to keep his similar... He's got a very unique style that you probably want him to keep as well.
Yeah. You've been watching Better Call Saul?
No.
I'm on episode 5, I think.
I watched... No, I didn't watch it. I was going to put it on, but I just didn't put it on. At all.
I'm enjoying taking my time with Better Call Saul.
Well, you got to wait anyway, haven't you? 5 more weeks till July, I think it is. The rest of the season's
because of that, Emma doesn't watch it, so I just watch it in my own time. If Emma watched it with me, we probably would have watched it all by now.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. But she watching Stranger Things with you, wasn't she?
Like when we watch... Yeah, like the only time I really watch TV is if I'm watching it with her. Like I don't really sit down and watch TV on my own.
Yeah. Okay. Shall we get cracking with the first one?
Yeah, let's go.
Right, this is mine. Woman receives 3D printed ear made from her own cells. The first clinical trial of the technology. So, I only scanned this earlier, but they transplanted a 3D ear made of human cells onto a woman. She had a ear deformity, and a company called 3D Biotherapeutics announced that the transplant was the first clinical trial of their technology. So, and it marks a successful major step forward for tissue engineering.
That's crazy.
They have ongoing clinical trials of 11 participants testing its Euronovo ear.
3D printing is one of those things I always, I never really think about.
Yeah, you never really look at where it could go, but it has so much potential to do anything.
Yeah, like there's so many other technologies I look at, but I never really think about 3D printing. And it could literally, yeah, it could transform the world. Having everything just at the press of a button, printed.
I mean, this is definitely a massive step, though. Organs, or not even organs, ears. So it says ears are simpler than organs. But this is like the step between us humans and cyborgs, I reckon. I know they're replicating what it actually, the same cells and the same sort of like a genetics, I guess, or genes or whatever. But this is like the step towards living with as a computer.
Yeah, like you need to upgrade your ear or something. You just print off a new set of ears.
Yeah, like when you start going deaf or just something, anything needs
Yeah,
replacing. It's like you could just you got a bad well, you get it already with you got a bad hip and you have a hip replacement, don't you? But
yeah. I reckon a lot of people, like our generation, maybe a little bit older, will have hearing problems when they're older because of use of headphones and stuff.
loud rave music.
So yeah, so I think these kind of technologies we'll probably start to see them more and more, like develop more and more as demand for it starts increasing.
Yeah, yeah. As and when it's needed. But I
It
mean,
might even be like mechanical ears and not biological ears.
yeah, that's what I mean. That one was more of a biological ear, but everything in your body is sort of, apart from your brain, everything else is replaceable, isn't it?
Yeah, they can transplant everything. I think you can get brain transplants. Can you get brain transplants?
I have no idea.
That would be weird, actually. I don't know.
That would be
Just
weird.
like,
It just would be. No, I don't think you can. A brain transplant is a procedure in which the brain of the organ. Wait, let me share this. Head transplant considers to be an extraordinary and impossible. So, a head transplant. I
do you
can't.
reckon Do you reckon the Nazis tried it?
Head transplant. Why do you think the Nazis?
Because they did loads of like testing on humans, didn't they?
Do you reckon they tried? Oh,
Poland.
the video. A head
Yeah,
transplant.
these Nazi camp experiments. They tried loads of random shit.
Look at them. Yeah, I've heard that they did a lot experiments. Oh, shit.
Experience. Yeah, just did loads of random crap that you would think like it just goes against what's it called? Human rights.
Was any of it successful?
I'm not sure. I've never read into it. I just know that they did these experiments. But it would be an interesting thing to read into, to be fair.
Oh yeah, and it's kind of it's like a horror film, isn't it? Thinking about all of the shit that they were.
Yeah, I'm not sure if some of the science we know today is because of those experiments. I wouldn't be surprised if some of it is.
It makes sense that because it's unethical, but it leaps like forward loads, doesn't it? By doing it in that manner, the ethics of everything slows down a lot.
What do you mean slows down?
Like the fact that stuff isn't ethical means we can't do it. So
slows us down.
Slows us down as evolving as humans and definitely in the medical industry.
Yeah, it's because it's funny you mention ethics and science because when we went to Valencia, we went to this aquarium and they had like those dolphins that they train.
Right. Yeah.
And I don't like it because I think like these dolphins shouldn't be in these small tanks. Like I think I spoke to you about it when I was back home.
Yeah.
But our mate said to me, like, if they weren't in these tanks, we wouldn't know so much about dolphins that we actually do. Because they would just be in the wild.
Smart they are.
Yeah, and we wouldn't know any of this. Which makes sense. It helps us understand animals and helps us understand the world a bit more. But then there's the ethical side to it as well, which is it's a difficult argument because it
Yeah.
even relates to zoos as well. Like a lion shouldn't be in a cage, but if the lion wasn't in the zoo, then we wouldn't know as much about lions as we do. So
Yeah.
us having them in cages in zoos, is that helping us preserve wild lions in the savannah?
Mm. Yeah, and if we didn't have them in the cage, it would just slow down our whole learning or knowledge building on the animals. So, what do you think they should have? Human zoos where they perform. That's what this is. This Nazi human experiment is.
Yeah, I guess that's essentially what happened, isn't it? Maybe like we don't try and do brain transplants on lions and dolphins, but
But we're never going to know if we can do it or not if we don't do it. But there's no way of ethically doing that procedure, right?
yeah, and I think a lot of science is based on animal testing.
Yeah.
A lot of our developments in science are based on animal testing. So
Yeah, because they use monkeys a lot to test.
yeah,
Oh, they put the neural link in the monkey, didn't they?
yeah, they put Neuralink in a monkey and in pigs, and it's like it's a weird one, isn't it? Because it's for our selfish gain. We're putting these animals in cruel situations.
Yeah, because humans automatically have decided that we're the master race.
Yeah.
But then they
Well,
say like dolphins are more intelligent than humans. They've got a larger brain. Well,
dolphins haven't built cities like we have.
they might have. They might have built them in the deep sea where we've not been. They might be like half dolphin, half humans down or something. Yeah, but they don't have the capability, like the physical capability to do that.
Yeah. This is that something that it might be an intelligence that we can't comprehend.
Yeah. This is not even on our wavelength, yeah.
Yeah.
It might be that intelligent that they don't, yeah. Why do they need to build cities?
Mm.
So anyway, we'll staying on that same topic. I've just Wikipedia the Nazi human experiment. So yeah, it was a series of medical experiments on large numbers of prisoners, including children. Typically, the experiments were conducted without anesthesia, resulting in death. So they just did it.
That's mental.
But they did this on twins.
So weird that this happened.
Amputations, infecting them with various diseases and injecting dyes into their eyes to change their colour. He also attempted to create conjoined twins by sewing twins together.
You see that picture? Oh, that's conjoined
It's
twins.
just Siamese twins,
yeah.
But these lot tried to actually create these.
Causing gangrene and eventually death.
Often one twin would be forced to undergo experimentation while the other was kept as a control. Oh geez, man. This is uncomfortable to read.
This is some dark stuff, man.
It's like the human centipede type shit.
Yeah.
Bone, muscle, and nerve transplantation experiments. Yeah, so it makes sense that they would have learned stuff that's used today if they're doing stuff like this.
And this freezing experiments here.
It's what?
Can you see that freezing experiments?
Oh yeah.
Conducts experiments with the intent of discovering means to prevent and treat hypothermia. They put them in like 4 degrees water.
Attempt number 513. What the hell?
And then
Body
for an
temperature.
hour. Imagine being in 4 degree water for an hour.
Time in water. There's minutes in it.
Yeah.
6 degrees. Oh, yeah.
95 minutes.
There's no time of death.
He probably died in the water.
Well, I survived it.
No, this person was in, number 16, was in for an hour and died at 74.
So he comes out the water at 90. Oh, right. And then he dies that much later of hypothermia.
Yeah, died.
This guy
4
died.
minutes later.
This person died. At the end.
Oh, yeah.
Malaria. Oh, shit, man.
There's loads.
Seawater. Fertility. Poison. Bomb. Yeah. Modern ethical issues. Yeah, the data obtained from the experiments, however, has been used and considered in multiple fields, causing controversy.
Yeah, I think it's because it's so unethical that using this data is seen like in a negative light.
Yeah, in favour of those using the data, argue that if it has practical value to save lives, then it will be equally unethical not to use it. That's true.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. If they're using it for the better, these tests have already been done. Like at least these people are going to die knowing. Well, they won't know, but at least people are going to die. These people have died for a reason, like to help humanity in the long run.
Which is a good thing.
Yeah, it's a bad thing that this happened, but it's being used for good. So
yeah. Japanese human experimentation as well.
The plot thickens. It's happening everywhere.
Biological warfare weapons. This isn't as frostbite.
This looks like it's for syphilis, frostbite,
rape and forced pregnancy. Don't know if you could say that on YouTube. Don't know if you
can I say that on YouTube?
I don't know. Right. Anyway, this our conversation's taking a dark turn. Very dark turn.
I think we need to line up. You got a funny video to watch.
I'll try and put some mine are quite dark actually today. Ah, fuck it, we'll put another one of mine here. Since we're on a dark journey. Canada trials decriminalizing cocaine, MDMA and other drugs. Have you heard about this?
Nope, first I've heard.
Alright. So they're going to do a temporary decriminalize of possession of small amounts of drugs.
In British Columbia. Adults will be allowed to possess combined total of 2.5 grams of opioids, cocaine, methamphetamine, and MDMA.
So it's all personal usage.
Yeah, for personal use.
But it's how do they buy it is my question. Are they setting up places that you can buy it from? Or do you still buy it from?
No, I think you still have to go to Dodgy Dave on the corner.
They have quite a big drug problem in Canada, don't they?
I'm not sure. Is it any worse than it is in the rest of the world? Or here?
I guess it's bad everywhere though, isn't it? Yeah, the BC declared the overdose crisis, public health physical overdose, has since reached historic heights in the shadow of the COVID-19 pandemic. Over 9,000 people have died of a drug overdose since 2016.
What do you think about this war on drugs? Do you think it's been a complete failure?
The drugs won, I heard. They had a war on drugs and the drugs have won.
I think so.
I don't get it. It just doesn't make any sense, the whole war on drugs. What's your opinion on it?
Like, I don't. Drugs are a weird one because you can enjoy drugs, and if you keep it under control, then it's not an issue.
Yeah.
It's probably better if there were some regulations around the quality of the drugs. Because you always hear about these people going to raves and stuff and then dying from dodgy pills.
Yeah.
Um,
From Dirty Dave. Dodgy Dave.
and then if there was some kind of regulation on what was actually in the drugs, then I would assume less people would die from it.
Yeah.
But then having it more readily available would mean, would more people get addicted to it?
But then with it having it legal, then you could have more control over the addictions because, for example, if someone's addicted to heroin, you could offer them rehab where they can wean off it slowly, and it could be a medical trial to wean them off it.
Yeah, so maybe the tax from the drugs will help pay for...
It pays for itself, yeah, the addiction side of it.
Yeah.
And things like weed can be kept legal. But it doesn't make sense. Well, obviously, everyone says it doesn't make sense for how weed's illegal and alcohol's legal. But I was reading something about it. What?
I think depending on the person, weed can have like psychological,
Effects.
like have a psychological impact on people.
Yeah.
I don't know alcohol can too, but I feel like it's easier to smoke weed every day than it would be to get smashed every day.
Yeah. Because there's only so much
probably...
alcohol your body can take, but your body can take a lot more marijuana.
Yeah, like it's easier to just sit back on your sofa and have a few spliffs every night rather than sit back on your sofa and have 12 cans of Stella.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think it should be all made legal and the quality of the stuff should be
improved.
Yeah, it should be regulated.
Regulated, yeah. Like alcohol, when they made that illegal, moonshine came out, and that was fucking people up left, right, and centre.
Yeah.
But so, I was reading something the other day about alcohol and why it's even legal now, and because it is a killer drug, but it's just because it's so accepted within society, it's not perceived as a killer drug.
Yeah.
But it's because back in the day you couldn't drink water because all the water was contaminated.
Yeah.
Alcohol was the cleaner one to drink, so everyone drank alcohol all the time. And that was
years. Used to drink beer, didn't they?
Yeah, because it was clean. And then it became the norm.
I think I have like a lower percentage of alcohol than what we drink today, though.
Yeah, because that was for drinking, like to quench your thirst. But now it's to get drunk. But that's why it's woven so much into society as a normal thing to do, is because it was normal to do back then.
Yeah. Well, we're stopping drinking next year.
2023.
Anyway, so I think we'll see the benefits of not getting drunk.
Yeah.
If there are any. But from what we've listened to, there's
lots of benefits.
Lots of benefits. So
health benefits and mind benefits, but there's social implications from it.
Yeah. because you've not got that social lubricant there anymore.
Yeah.
And a lot of our social life revolves around drink.
Yeah. And a lot of the people, because we've got to this age now, from a lot of the people who we speak to and hang around with, we hang around with them for alcohol.
What did you say? Sorry, you crashed.
We've got to this age now where we hung around with these people and instilled alcohol as the main thing that keeps us all together. For us to take that building block out, we're going to see what the implication would be on just social lives or being outgoing. I mean, I've got a wedding I've got to go to next year, so I'm going to see how that is doing that sober. That's not something I would have usually done sober.
Yeah. Well, I was talking to my old boss at a wedding, and he's give up drinking. He gave up 20 in 20. No, 20. He gave up last year, 2021.
Okay.
And he was only doing it for a year, and he said that he's just carried it on. And he goes in 2021, he went to birthday parties, he went to weddings, he went on holiday, and these are all like things where before he would have felt like he needed a drink to go to. Says once you've done it once, you realise that you actually don't need a drink and it's fine. So the more times you do these like things where you feel like you need a drink to go to, you'll get used to not having to drink. So it's like what Chris Williamson was saying in his video as well, that it teaches you to become a more confident person without the alcohol.
Yeah. Which is a massive benefit to have.
Yeah. And I feel like all my adult life, I've always relied on alcohol to like, in social situations, to like just give me that extra bit. So like, even if it's just 1 or 2 pints, like it just gives you that extra little bit of confidence that I've relied on that all my life up to now, my adult life. It'd be good to just not do it for a year and see how much my confidence grows in those situations.
And another thing which Chris Williamson said, which I thought was interesting, was when he talked about drinking and going on dates. Obviously, we're in a different situation where we're not going to see that impact of having to go on dates and not having to have a drink. So obviously you need the confidence element when you're going on dates. But I was speaking to a friend as well, and he said he's been going on dates, and I just asked him out of just interest, is like, do you go out and have drinks? Have you ever just met someone for a coffee or anything? He was like, no way. There's no chance he would meet someone for a coffee. He would have to go, and that first drink will be one of the fastest drinks he'll ever drink, because it just takes that edge off and lets him loosen down a bit. But what Chris Williamson was saying, that meeting someone without drinking and then them automatically just assuming you're a boring person because you're not having a drink, and he sort of felt that was a good thing, because if the person that he's dating to potentially take it further with thinks he's boring for not drinking, does he actually want to be with that sort of person?
Yeah. Yeah, he says that, doesn't he? It makes sense though. Like, he says some girls that he was going on dates with actually like the fact that he doesn't drink.
Yeah.
So he's more inclined to pursue a relationship with those kind of girls.
Because they will share a similar mindset to him.
I was thinking, like, as well from like a personal perspective, I'm not like, in my like relationship, I'm not like the most open person. So like, I'll keep like a lot of my shit to myself.
Yeah.
I'll just deal with it on my own.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're the same.
Men,
but,
get it. Man problem.
But like when I'm having like a few glasses of wine with Emma, and that's when I like start to open up a bit more. So I'm hoping it will teach me to have those discussions with her without the wine and be able to just...
Yeah. And I think a lot of that is you need to... Well, you obviously already have identified it, but actually being progressive with it. So once you've stopped packed in your drink, actually identifying it, because if you've packed in your drink, you might not even know ever again that you keep that to yourself, because there's no reminder of having a drink there and then that happening.
Yeah,
So it might even be a bit harder to open up, because you might just forget that you can open up. It's scary.
yeah. But it's something that's on my mind because I know that's something we like to do in it. Have a glass of wine and just like have a good deep chat with each other.
Yeah,
But it's something on my mind that next year we're not gonna be able to do that. So I'm gonna have to make more of a conscious effort to do that.
yeah. Well, it's the same with a lot of things, isn't it? It's like you've still got to go out and see people, but what can you do other than drinking? So there's going to be loads of different elements to it.
Yeah.
Finding other hobbies, finding that time to talk to your other half, even though you're not intoxicated.
Yeah.
Kind of fucked up though, if you think about it.
Yeah, it is weird that you need that there to be able to like go deep.
Yeah. But I don't know. I guess you don't actually need it. We just are so accustomed to it that
Yeah.
we're just addicted to it.
Yeah, it's just because it's happened like once and then it's happened again, it's happened again, and it just becomes like a thing that
Yeah.
you do. But yeah, it's just sort of changing the norms. Which I'm excited for it because it's going to be a good challenge, I think. And I think we're both like got decent heads on us to be able to identify what we need to do to make it like to still enjoy our lives without the drink.
Yeah. I mean, the challenge really isn't not drinking as much as it is. I think I'll be quite fine at just not having to drink. The challenge is replacing that time or that habit or addiction with something else, which is obviously a positive addiction.
Yeah. And then it's like your friendship circle. We need to find things that we can do without having a drink.
Yeah.
Which I think that's going to be a tough one. I think that's going to be probably the hardest one.
I won't mind going to the pub and not drinking, but it's going to be hard sitting there whilst everyone else is drunk and you're sober.
Yeah.
I guess that'll only be hard a couple of times before it just becomes normal to you.
You just turn into the designated driver.
Yeah, that's the one thing. That's the problem. So yeah, have you been thinking? I know we've set ourselves to do it in 2023, but have you been thinking potentially of doing it earlier?
Yeah, well, my initial plan was to do it this year.
For the start of the year?
Yeah, but I've had 2 stag do's. And then I'm going to Oktoberfest in September, end of September.
Yeah.
So I just thought this year's it's not going to be possible.
Yeah, because you kind of made that plan. You made these plans before you've planned or had the epiphany sort of thing to stop.
Yeah. So I feel like Oktoberfest will be a good thing to go to as like a last hurrah.
Yeah.
Because it's something I've always wanted to go to, and you got to drink beer whilst you're there. So
yeah,
it'll be a good like last hurrah.
Yeah, if you were sober, then there's probably no point in doing that holiday.
Yeah.
To be honest.
But if I wasn't going to Oktoberfest, I could probably stop now.
Yeah, because you got nothing else on apart from a wedding.
But I've been sort of preparing myself all year anyway. I've cut down on drinking.
Yeah.
Quite a lot. I think last weekend when I came home was the first time in a while I've just had like casual pints with you and Dad and Dan. Because usually I would have just got Coke or something, or Diet Coke and...
Yeah. If you weren't drinking to get drunk, you would have just...
Yeah.
Had them. It's the casual pints which are a problem as well.
Yeah, they're the problem, I think, from a health perspective.
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
only stopped drinking mainly from a health perspective. Because if you're having casual pints 3 times a week and it's 2 free pints, like
It adds up, yeah.
it's a lot that you don't need, and then you're having a binge drink every other week.
Mm. As well, like when you're, well, I'm talking about just quitting drinking in general. Like when I forgot where I've got this from, but when you stop drinking, no, when you drink, sorry, when you drink alcohol, you go into a different state of mind as if you're a different person. So stuff that happens when you're drunk, sober you wouldn't accept, but for some reason you accept the fact that it's drunk you, so it's okay, and then you let it go.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
So the things you do, you wouldn't accept if you were sober.
Yeah, the actions that you take you wouldn't accept if you were sober, but because you're drunk, you, then sober you accepts the fact, okay, it wasn't me, it was drunk me.
Yeah.
Which is kind of fucked up.
Yeah, you do like the next day you think, oh, like, fucking hell, why did I do that? And then you
Yeah.
think, oh, I was just drunk, it's fine.
Yeah, I was drunk, but really, you shouldn't be getting drunk, and like that shouldn't be a thought. It's just weird how we've got this acceptance of it was drunk me,
Yeah.
another person.
We're talking like we're at an AA meeting.
We'll submit this to an AA Reddit post or something. Right, should we put the next one up? We've gone on some dark tangents twice now.
I don't think the drink one was that dark, but it was
Enlightening, I guess.
yeah, it's good for the viewers to listen. If anyone else wants to back the 2023 alcohol free.
Alternative, alcohol free with alternative. Okay, I'll put the next one on. It is yours.
Yeah. So, everyone knows about the Ukraine war and how it's affected fuel prices, and they're sort of expecting this is the Irish Independent. So Ireland have put a contingency plan in. If fuel supplies drop below a certain level, if you scroll down, it's got I think the percentage drops in. There, scroll up a little bit.
Do you want to read the headline first?
Oh yeah, I'll read the headline.
For the audio viewers.
Return of work from home plan to save fuel in event of a crisis caused by Ukraine war. So delegates were given a scenario of a 20% diesel supply deficit in September and a 35% drop in supply in December. The third and most extreme scenario proposed for 2023, where gas and oil supplies cannot meet demand for electricity generation, or farmers preparing to cut. Is that silage?
Silage.
Silage. You'd go to farms. What's a silage?
Silage.
Crops.
Yeah. You're
Alright.
taking it, yeah.
So it looks like it reminds me a bit of like the COVID event where all non-essential workers will be ordered to work from home. A limit will be placed on non-essential car travel. A strict limit on the amount of fuel motorists can buy at one time. The implementation of immediate and strict reduction in the speed limit on motorways.
That one's funny. That last one's funny.
But what's scary is that I know this is the extreme scenario.
Get out of jail free card. Like this can be implemented.
Yeah, it can be implemented, and it's been done before, so people will be more likely to
adhere to it.
Yeah, adhere to it.
Yeah, because imagine this coming out before COVID. Everyone would be like, what the fuck is going on?
But because of COVID, everyone's sort of become accustomed. Well, a lot of people are still working from home. the non-essential car travel, that was a COVID regulation as well. The strict limit on fuel, that wasn't. But these regulations that they're going to bring in, or potentially will bring in, they just remind me of the COVID restrictions again.
Yeah, they sound like for like COVID restrictions.
But one thing that worries me is they've gone to the extreme scenario where they can't power electricity and farming will be affected. And you don't really think about that. Like, you just see the fuel price going up at the pump. You don't think about what else fuel's actually used for.
Well, with fuel price going up, it just means everything. That's just going to power inflation because, well, yeah, like they're saying, this is what I've learned from going on the farms is people are getting confused. For example, when carrots are going up from 20p to 30p, and people are kicking off, but they're actually putting them prices up by that much. They're making lower the amount because of the fuel crisis.
Yeah, but you can't put them too high because
yeah, they can't balance it out, so they keep making the same amount in because people can't pay it because salaries aren't going up.
Yeah, I think we're like heading for a real problem with food prices and the cost of living. I feel like we're just sort of seeing the start of it now.
It feels like, well, to me, it feels like shit's going to get a lot worse before it gets a lot better.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know how much worse it's going to get.
It's because there's nothing that's actually broken at the moment. You have to wait for things to get broken before people fix it.
Yeah, that's like human nature, though. Like,
Yeah.
Kick the can down the road until it completely breaks.
Yeah, don't fix what's not broken, sort of thing. But
Yeah.
even when you can see that something's about to break, no one's really going to jump at it.
I don't know what can be done, though, really.
It's a hard one with this COVID thing, with this restrictions thing, because I mean, they're using the freedom of people as they did with COVID is as a way to. I know why they need to do it because if farmers don't get the fuel, then all prices are going to spike up. But then think about anything that ever happens where there's a problem, they're always going to resort back to, right, everyone get home again.
Yeah, take our freedoms away.
Yeah, and it's just going to get worse and worse, and then everyone's going to get used to it after a generation, and the next generation is just going to be used to always being in and out of lockdown, and then boom, it's going to be fucking 1984.
Yeah, no, it's true. I was listening to what's his name? Joe Rogan and Lex Friedman.
Mm.
Did you ever listen to that podcast?
Joe Rogan on Lex Friedman, or do you?
No, Lex Friedman on Joe Rogan.
Yeah, I think I listened to half of it. It was recent, wasn't it? Like last month, like within the month.
Yeah, I think it came out when I was away.
Yeah.
Joe says that once freedoms are taken away, they're very rarely given back.
Yeah.
And these like restrictions are reminding me of that. Like, they've already been taken away from us, so they can do it again.
Yeah.
And then when the next event happens, they'll just do it again.
Yeah, and the more they do it, the more people will get used to accepting it.
Yeah.
And it'll be a norm. And then it'll only be a few people who will disagree with it. And then sooner or later, them few people who do disagree with it will just be seen as fucking right-wing weirdos. Extremists.
Yeah, outsiders.
Because it will just become norm because the mass media will just make it a normal thing. Like, oh, it's time to go back in again, everyone.
Yeah. And then most people, there's always a reason behind it, like you're helping the mass by doing this.
Yeah.
So it turns the people against other people. Because some people think, oh, fuck that, like I'm going to go out in my car.
Yeah.
And then other people be like, wait, you can't go out in your car because the farmers aren't getting the things, so you're going to mess the food price up for us, not going to be enough food.
It's
And
like
when
the whole mask situation, isn't it?
yeah, like the mass situation. Even when you was going out like in COVID, people were still like worrying about spreading COVID, and it's just it's the it's going to turn people against people whilst taking away the freedoms, which is giving the government a lot of power.
Yeah, well, that's what it comes down to, though. In the end,
Yeah.
have you watched much on the Davos event?
Well, yeah, have they got another event on now?
Yeah, they've had the 22. They've had the 22 of 2022 event on, and I don't know. I think I was watching it on Ben Shapiro. Do you know that the founder, that Klaus Schwab?
Yeah, Klaus.
I can't pronounce his name properly. But he was playing a few of his clips, and then just like analysing them. And Ben Shapiro was literally saying this guy is the definition of an evil guy that's taking over. In his voice and everything, he's like, "We need to stand together. We need to do this. We need to." And it just sounds like a fucking. He's just actually gonna rip us all to shreds.
Like a Bond villain, isn't it?
Yeah, literally, yeah, like a Bond villain. But I don't know. These are all pushing the Great Reset, so
That's like more and more I think about it, and I think we discussed this in the past, and I don't want to take away the fact that Ukraine's being fucking obliterated at the moment, but
yeah,
a part of me feels like something there might be staged, and it's another event to get people in line.
yeah. Or but you could say stage, or you could say there's a reason why it's been left the fuck alone by the West.
Yeah,
There's an opportunity. There's a monetary opportunity involved in it for them, not for the masses. For them ones at the top.
yeah,
Because it could be easily we could easily get involved and stop that. But then there's the external factor of what the fuck's China gonna do if we get involved in that. So there's it's complex, isn't it? Complex world.
and then it's like these people at the top, or these people who are part of this World Economic Forum. They're very wealthy people, and China's got a lot of money. And I know the US government and our government, they're corrupt as fuck.
Mm.
So even if our governments aren't part of what's going on, but they're seeing financial gains from it,
Yeah,
or the
yeah,
people in power in our countries are seeing financial gains from it, maybe they're just happy to sell out to China. And because this is what the World Economic Forum want, really. They want a Chinese system in the West.
yeah.
So maybe they're just happy to sell out to China and let the World Economic Forum deal with China, and then bring it in to the West.
Mm. Replicate that model over here.
Yeah, because they're getting financial gain from it. When that system comes in, they'll be tracked well.
Mm.
So it's not. I don't like. I think last time I said to you how I can't picture a room full of powerful people all getting along with each other to sort of devise a plan like this. But
Yeah, you're saying that, yeah, it's too perfect of a plan.
yeah, but then if you think about it from not just people sat in a room like at a meeting table, think of it as all these people linked together through financial gain, then it could be possible. If they get financial gain from it, they're going to say yes to anything.
Mm. Yeah, because that's all it comes down to. That's the bottom line. It's the numbers.
So rather than it being like staged as in they are orchestrating it all, maybe like one guy's talking to another guy and he's saying this is going to happen, but this is going to benefit them people like that.
Yeah. Yeah, for example, Putin might have wanted to go and do Ukraine, invade Ukraine. The West or the US might have had nothing to do with that, but been told, right, he's going to go and do this to Ukraine, and it's going to benefit you in this way, this way, and this way. So you can either get involved or you can take these benefits.
Yeah.
And it's like, right, I'll just take the benefits then.
I reckon, yeah, it's probably orchestrated a bit more like that.
Yeah.
Then before, I think I was thinking about it more.
But in different ways. The Putin's nothing to do with sitting down with, I'm not going to say Biden, but it's, your people. Well, it's not even really like going to be Biden who's in control, but for example, Putin's not going to sit down with this Klaus guy and say he's doing this, this, and this. It's going to benefit you guys. He's going to want to have done that, and then they would have seen the benefits from not getting involved, the financial benefits from not getting involved. There's nothing to, I know what you mean. We're not connecting them two people together, but
yeah. Whereas before, I think I was thinking a bit more simplistically, where all the world leaders are in a room together. Like,
yeah.
No, I don't think that happens. I think it's more, just they're seeing financial gain, so then they're just going along with it.
Yeah.
Even though they might oppose each other, but if they're being benefited from anything the other side are doing, then they're not bothered. They're just going to let it crack on.
But then, I mean, we're going to talk about this a bit more next week. Shout out to our Chinese special. But it's what everyone's going to see now. Definitely, this is what China are going to sit back and watch. Is all right. The West are just bending over backwards for money. Let's show them like they're getting done with money, like dumb riches, because they're getting so greedy. They're getting stupid. So
yeah, I think China have noticed that though, like that the West will do anything we want because we're going to give them money.
But that's going to shoot them in the arse, isn't it, at some point?
Yeah.
Because you're saying this thing, right, this concept where people are making moves and then it's up to the West if they're going to intervene or not, get involved or not get involved, dependent on the financial gain of their action. But there's only so long before someone does something which involves the West or the US losing money, and then they have to get involved because they're going to lose money if they don't, and then they're just going to get shafted.
Yeah, and I feel like that's what China are waiting for. That moment where the power balance shifts in their favor.
Yeah.
And you can see America's weakening by the day. It's getting weaker and weaker.
On so many different levels as well.
Yeah. In politics, in society in general, the people are turning against each other.
Yeah.
I've seen some videos on YouTube of like the poverty in America. It's fucking insane.
Yeah.
You'd think it's a third world country.
But then it's about the fact that people are so hung up on gender politics and gender identities and all this stuff. And they're just ignoring the bigger things that are going on in the world because they're so strung up on these, I'll say these micro problems. I don't know what you would call them.
Yeah, like I've had this argument with people in the past about like diversity, like corporate diversity especially. I think I've spoken to you about it. My views on it. It's just it feels like it's just like smoke and mirrors. It's there to get people on side, I think, with the corporations, and then it lets the corporations do what the hell they want. Because people, they don't look past what the corporation's telling them. So if corporations put in a Black Lives Matter or a pride flag on their logo for a month, like people look at that and think, oh yeah, this is a good company, like Apple, a good company, like, they've got a pride logo on the thing.
Yeah.
But then they don't look behind the scenes of what else they're doing. Like we showed that video, I think it was last week, of all the Chinese workers trying to escape the MacBook factory.
Yeah.
But no one's talking about it.
The bigger problems, that's what no one's talking about. The bigger problems because they're looking at these little micro problems which are just being micro addressed.
Which at the end of the day is not in the grand scheme of things, it's not a massive deal because everyone's living in the Western world. Everyone's living, well, not everyone. The majority of people are living comfortable lives.
Yeah.
Everyone's got a roof over their heads. There might be some discrimination or some hate towards different genders or towards different races, but in the grand scheme of things, it's not a massive deal. There's worse things going on out there which are being overlooked.
Yeah.
Too focused on, because we're so comfortable, we're too focused on these little niceties that would be nice in society to have.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I don't know. I feel like this next decade is going to be a weird one. I think we're going to see some shit.
Yeah. I wouldn't even say the next decade, man. That brings you to 30, 32.
Yeah, I mean like the 20s.
Yeah, throughout the 20s, yeah. The roaring 20s.
I wish it was the roaring 20s.
Jesus, got so many things that are going to just... It feels like everything is on a loose end. Like a very...
Like on a knife's edge.
Yeah, like you can knock one thing and it's going to have a massive domino effect on all sorts.
That's how it feels. Ever since COVID came in, it's felt like everything's just been like balancing, like on a little balance. And then you just need one thing to go like that. It's all just going to...
Yeah. Everything's just going to topple over. And then China take over the whole West. And what?
Yeah.
Right.
But we'll save the China talk for when we do our next video.
Coming soon. Shall I put next one on?
Yeah, how long? We've been on for a while, haven't we?
An hour 10, I think.
All right. Yeah, go on. We'll do one more then. Been talking, got on quite a few tangents this episode.
Yeah. There's still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 articles remaining.
Could do a 3-hour special, Joe Rogan.
I'll pick one of yours because we've only done one of yours.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what my other one was. Oh, fuck yeah. We've gone from dark to even darker, mate.
We could do what we'll do this one and then we'll do one more after this. We'll end on a light one. I've got a light one in my bank.
Yeah, all right. So this happened was it over a week ago now?
This is 24th of May, so that must be 2 weeks, isn't it?
Yeah. We missed it last week, so I just thought something we should
at least have a talk about. Yeah.
Talk about. We did a bit of a documentary when we first started the channel on gun control, and well, let me read the headline first.
In the description below.
Yeah, Texas shooting, 19 children among dead in primary school attack. 19 young children and 2 adults have died in a shooting in a primary school in South Texas. For the Americans, that's an elementary school. We call it primary school in the UK.
BBC article, isn't it?
So he's an 18-year-old. He had a handgun and an AR-15 semi-automatic.
Yes.
And he went into school and shot a load of children, which is pretty fucked up. But it seems to be a problem in the States. These school shootings. So we did a little documentary on it. I think it's a 20-minute video on gun control in the US. So I don't know what to think about guns. I mean, like, from doing the video, I can see why people like them and why I can see the benefits of them. But when things like this are happening, it's hard to sort of argue for guns,
Yeah.
especially when any school's bad, but primary school, like, it's fucking horrible. Like, these kids haven't even seen the age of 10 yet, and they're having their lives taken away from them. I don't think it's all just to do with the guns as well. I think there's some big mental health problems.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So my sort of question to you is: do you think banning guns is the answer, or do you think a better way to do it is to fix the mental health problem?
Yeah. Well, I don't think banning guns is the right idea. I think that's going to cause more issues with people. That's similar to saying, I don't have something to say against, but banning something that can be used in a bad way, but only a micro amount of people are using them in a bad way. So that, yeah, it says that something needs to be done about the mental health. But just earlier, just literally before this, I was listening to, I think it was on Breaking Points, Bill Burr. They had a feature with Bill Burr on there.
Yeah, I saw that.
Where he's talking about the gun debate following this attack on the elementary school. But he said, basically, he compared it to having a pilot license. You wouldn't let someone who can fly around a little mini jet go and sit in a Boeing fucking massive passenger airline and fly across from UK to Australia if they've just got their flying license. So why, when a kid can turn 18, is he allowed to have a semi-automatic weapon with high capacity magazines, which is capable of doing something like this without anything at all apart from the fact he's just turned 18? Even that, and even when he was this kid online, he was making death threats. So there's not even, in this digital age where you could easily spot that if you just use his ID and put it into a few searches, the government in the US aren't putting together some very simple algorithm which can just trace everything this guy said on his social medias, on his online presence, to check whether anything he said might be detrimental to selling a gun.
Yeah, any red flags.
Yeah, they don't do any of them. And then there's a mental health side of it. He's obviously fucked up, or else he wouldn't have done that.
Yeah, I don't think banning guns is not the answer, because guns are so ingrained in American culture.
Yeah.
But maybe, regulating how guns are sold. This, to be fair, is coming back to me now. More of I should have watched the video after it, but have like these gun shows where you don't need any ID or anything to buy a gun. You can just walk to these gun shows and buy the gun.
Like you would buy anything from the shop, like a pack of sweets.
So guns shouldn't be so readily available, and perhaps it should be treated as if you're driving a car. Like in the UK, we turn 17. You got to go through lessons. Maybe with guns, you got to go through mental health checks.
Yeah.
And you got to keep topping this up every 5 years, something, because obviously mental health can change over 5 years.
Yeah.
You got to keep topping this up every 5 years to be able to keep all of your guns. If you can't top your mental health records up, your gun training as well, then you get your guns taken off you.
Yeah. I think how Bill Burr ended his was, go through these levels of gun training and start off with something which maybe can't kill someone, but you can still get a thrill of a gun. See how you get on with that for a bit, and then you can go back and reapply for something more powerful and more powerful. And then he goes, eventually you can buy if you want a bazooka, you can buy a bazooka and blow shit in your back garden up if that's what you fancy doing. But it's true, like, you should have to, these people could probably go and buy maybe not bazooka, but super high powerful weapons just as soon as you turn 18. So it needs
AR-15 is a powerful weapon. So being able to imagine you're 18 years old and you just walk into a shop and buy an AR-15, like
at 18,
insane. Yeah.
I didn't even know. Like, well, I'm 25 now. That was 7 years ago. I don't even think I would want a gun right now. Like, I would be okay with a gun now if I had one, but I don't feel like I would be 100%. So bring me back 7 years, I definitely wouldn't be.
Yeah, I think if I was in the US and I wanted a gun now, I would go to the gun range and I would get like specific training on how to use
Yeah,
the gun. And
for
I'd only have
defense.
it for defense and protection.
Yeah,
And maybe if I wanted to go hunting or something.
yeah.
But I'll just do it as a hobby if I'll go to the shooting range and that's it. And then the rest of it, I'll just keep the gun there for protection, defense purposes.
Mm. But they need to do something because it's getting fucking disgusting now, the amount of these school shootings.
Yeah, you're constantly hearing about it all the time.
I'll try and find this thing. There's like a mass shooting. Mass shooting heat map. Global. I can't find it. I can't remember where it was. But it was the globe, and it was showing mass shootings across the whole. This one here. I know. It was just showing the amount of mass shootings across the whole world, and it's just America was just so. Well, I think Mexico was quite high as well, but that's pretty much given. Like, they're not a as developed country as America, but for America to be higher than less developed countries, there's something like weird going on there.
Yeah.
For their mass shootings to be higher than undeveloped, well, less developed countries. I wouldn't say undeveloped.
It is. It's fucked up, man.
But yeah, they can't just ban them though. There'll be massive uproar if they ban them, and there's too much money in, like we was talking about earlier. If there's a government getting money from something, they're not gonna lose money to save people.
Yeah.
It's horrible to say, but it's the truth.
All right. Should we lighten up the mood a bit?
Yeah, we've had a dark one today. All right, I've got this. Right, I'm just gonna put this on. It's about China.
Should have brought a funny video to the table today. I was trying to find one, but I couldn't find one.
This is good. From what we've been doing today, we've been slating China a lot. This is a good thing that China are doing. China brings forward launch of solar power plant space station that would beam energy back to Earth. So on the image here, you've got the sun taking energy into the power plant and then beaming it back onto Earth.
Ah, that's good. Back to other solar panels.
It looks like that on the diagram, yeah. So a similar project was proposed by NASA 2 decades ago, but never developed. The UK government commissioned independent research. It's a British. I've only skimmed through this, but it's a British project, but China are doing it, I think.
The thing is, like with China, they'll bring a project out and then they'll get it done quick.
Yeah.
Britain, it takes fucking ages for them to do anything.
Is that because of the regulations?
Yeah, because of like regulations and bureaucracy, everything takes ages.
China has a regulation that's stopping them. They'll just remove the regulation.
Yeah, because I remember when I was living in China, like they'll start building start building the building, and then it'll be up in like a month.
Yeah.
Like they'll start building it, and then something will happen, and then it'll take another 6 months delay, and the building's not finished within like a year.
That's because of all these regulation issues. On top of that, the labour force who just drink about 70 brews.
Yeah.
So this is how a space-based solar panel works. Number one, the radiation from the sun is captured by a fleet of solar panels in low Earth orbit. So by a satellite power. No, it's not really a satellite, is it? It's a power plant. orbiting the Earth.
Yeah, so I think if it orbits Earth, it's classed that it's called a satellite.
Oh, right, okay. An orbiting power plant converts the energy to laser or microwaves before beaming it to the Earth. On the ground, a receiving system converts the beam into electricity and it feeds the power grid into the power grid.
It's a good idea.
So it's UK. Oh no,
It's a UK invention.
yeah, which is being carried out by the Chinese, which is a good, like a good way of two countries working well together.
Yeah, I
We've
don't know
got the
if
ideas.
China will pay the UK for their idea, or they just steal it.
Yeah, they'll
But
sell it back to us to use on our power grid.
yeah, they'll build them all and then just be like, here.
Yeah.
How much power can it make?
Yeah, 10 kilowatt power output. So the biggest power plant will be able to distribute 10 megawatts to. That's a test station. I don't know. So it's around the same as the UK current power plants.
The technology would have advanced by 2050 and the station would be big enough to output 2 gigawatts, the equivalent of the output of most of the UK's terrestrial power plants. Ah. I'm just thinking though, how much space would you need for these solar panels on Earth?
On Earth.
But then, I guess it not as much as you would just to get power from the sun on Earth because you've not got to deal with clouds or anything.
Yeah.
So the sun is always going to be in space. So that power station, that a satellite, is always going to be in space.
Oh, yeah. And if you think about solar panels, right, I'm just going to end this for a sec. You've got to lay them out flat. But if you are beaming something into something, you don't necessarily have to have flat out solar panels. If you're talking about space, like land mass,
Yeah.
you won't have to take all that land mass up. You can probably stack, like, have it in a stack anyway, because it will come into the top and trickle down into whatever's the storage facility.
Perhaps. I don't know too much about solar panel technology.
No, me either. But I've always just thought, like, to actually get a good amount of power coming, you need a fucking massive.
Yeah, you need massive ones. But if it's a direct beam, then it should just be able to beam straight onto a stack of solar panels.
Yeah, just a receiver, and then once you can build something upwards or build it under the ground, then
even if you can manipulate that laser to like hit one solar panel and go round and hit the others.
Yeah, I don't think it will hit solar panels, though, will it? Underground, it must hit. It says a receiving system converts the beam into electricity. So I think they've just used solar panels in this description, but I don't know if it actually needs solar panels or if it just needs something to receive it. Which will, I don't know.
It's a good idea though to harness the sun's power because there's a lot of wasted energy up there.
Yeah, loads. That's the goal, isn't it? Is to do that. But there's probably some life forms which are doing that. Some.
Yeah, it's just like another step to cleaner and pretty much unlimited power.
Yeah,
which is what we need.
Unlimited power. What we need.
If the world can generate unlimited power, like there's no stopping humanity after that. I don't think. That'll fix so many of the world's problems.
Yeah, unlimited power. What can't be fixed with power, innit? Literally, what can't be fixed with power.
And it'll free up the minds of people who are focusing on generating this unlimited power. If the power's already there, then their minds are free. So they can focus on fixing the other issues that we've got on Earth, like food and stuff, with the power, that unlimited power that we've got.
Yeah. But if yeah. So yeah.
Yeah. All right.
you want to call it, or do you want one more?
Yeah, we'll call it on that. That was a good ender, I think.
Nice one. After quite a severely dark episode, we ended on a positive
note.
British and Chinese. It's not even a partnership, is it?
No, I think the British just had the plans and then China
stolen them. Sorry, still.
I don't know if they've stolen them, though, I'm just presuming. That's what you tend to do.
Alright, I'll see you next week.
Yeah, see you next week.
See you later.
Yeah, guys.